Alright, let's dive into one of the most enduring enigmas in history, Oak Island. Picture this, a small, unassuming island off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, that has been the subject of obsession for over 2 centuries. It's not just any island. It's a place where treasure hunters, historians, and conspiracy theorists have all tried to unravel its secrets. The story began in 1795 when a group of men stumbled upon something strange, a hole in the ground that led to a hidden chamber filled with artifacts and coins. But wait, there's more. This wasn't just any find. It was rumored to be part of a massive treasure buried by pirates centuries ago, possibly even linked to the legendary Spanish galleon San Jose. Now, you might be thinking, why is this such a big deal? Well, let's break it down. Oak Island has been the focus of over 200 years of exploration, with countless expeditions digging, drilling, and even building massive shafts to uncover its secrets. The island's history is littered with stories of treasure hunters going bankrupt, getting lost in the woods, or worse, disappearing without a trace. But what really makes this mystery so captivating is that it's not just about gold and jewels. It's about the human obsession with discovery and the thrill of the unknown. Think of it as a real-life version of Indiana Jones, but with more mud, less action, and way more frustration. So, why has Oak Island remained such an unsolved mystery for so long? Part of the reason is that the island itself seems to be designed to keep its secrets hidden. There are layers of tunnels, mysterious shafts, and even a massive underground chamber known as the Money Pit. Some say it's a natural sinkhole, while others believe it was intentionally created by pirates or even ancient civilizations. Theories range from pirate treasure to lost colonies to extraterrestrial artifacts. Yes, really. And then there are the so-called ghosts of Oak Island, who have supposedly been seen wandering the woods at night, whispering secrets that no one can quite understand. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In recent years, new technology and modern methods have given us a fresh perspective on this ancient mystery. Drones, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced drilling techniques are now being used to explore the island in ways that were impossible just a few decades ago. And let's be honest, this is where things get really exciting. Imagine standing on the edge of the Money Pit, looking down into the depths of history, knowing that you might be one step closer to uncovering the truth behind one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. So, if you're ready to dive deeper into the Oak Island mystery and discover what makes this island so special, then stick around. Because as we'll soon find out, the story of Oak Island isn't just about treasure. It's about perseverance, curiosity, and the unrelenting human desire to uncover the past. Alright, folks, let's get one thing straight. This isn't just another episode of Treasure Hunters with a few more holes in the ground. Rick Lagina is about to drop some serious truth bombs, and it's not for the faint of heart. You know that Oak Island mystery? The one that's been around since the 1700s, with pirates, treasure maps, and more secrets than a pirate's stash of gold doubloons? Well, Rick has been digging into this like a dog with a bone, and he's finally got something that could change everything. But hold on, this isn't just about finding a chest full of loot. It's about uncovering the truth behind one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, and it's way more complicated than you think. So what exactly did Rick confess? Well, let's break it down like we're explaining it to a kid who's never heard of Oak Island. He's been working on this for years, right? And while he's always been the guy with the big ideas and the bigger grin, this time he's not just talking about digging deeper, he's talking about digging into the past. He claims they found something that could prove the treasure is real, but it's not what you'd expect. It's not a chest of gold or a map to a hidden cave. It's more like a puzzle piece that fits into a bigger picture, one that might have been hiding in plain sight all along. And trust me, if Rick says he's found something, you can bet your boots it's worth investigating. Now, here's where things get interesting. Rick isn't just spilling secrets for the sake of it. He's doing this because he believes in the story, and he wants to share that belief with everyone who's ever been curious about Oak Island. But let's be real, not everyone is on board with his theory. Some people think he's chasing ghosts, while others are waiting for proof that can't be ignored. And honestly, that's part of what makes this so exciting. It's like watching a detective story unfold in real time, with no script and no ending yet written. Rick isn't just trying to find treasure. He's trying to solve a mystery that has been bugging historians, treasure hunters, and armchair adventurers for centuries. But here's the kicker. This confession isn't just about what they've found. It's about how they found it. Rick says they used some pretty advanced techniques, like ground-penetrating radar, and even some old-school methods that have been around since the days of pirates and treasure maps. And let me tell you, when you combine modern tech with a little bit of luck, things can get really interesting fast. Imagine being in a place where every inch of dirt could hide something incredible, and you're not just digging. You're solving a puzzle that's been waiting for someone to crack it. That's what Rick is doing, and he's not holding back on the details. So why should we care? Well, because this isn't just about treasure. It's about history, mystery, and the human spirit. Oak Island has always been more than a place. It's a symbol of perseverance, curiosity, and the thrill of the unknown. And Rick Lagina is proving that even after all these years, there's still more to discover. Whether you're a diehard fan or just someone who loves a good mystery, this confession is going to make you sit up and take notice. Because if Rick has found something real, it could change everything we thought we knew about Oak Island, and maybe even the way we look at treasure hunting itself. Alright, folks, let's dive into the latest buzz in the Oak Island mystery. Rick Lagina has been digging up some seriously intriguing clues that could change everything we thought we knew. Picture this: a team of experts, state-of-the-art equipment, and a whole lot of determination. They've found new evidence that's making headlines, and it's not just random dirt anymore. It's something that might actually point to the treasure being right under our noses. But wait, what exactly did they find? Well, let's break it down. First up, there's this mysterious structure that Rick and his team have been investigating for years. It's like a giant underground chamber with walls that are way too thick to be natural. Some folks think it could be part of an ancient shipwreck or maybe even something built by the Knights Templar. But here's where things get really interesting. Rick claims they've found new evidence suggesting this structure might not just be a random hole in the ground, but a key to unlocking the treasure. It's like finding a map that leads to the X marked on the map. Now, let's talk about the theories. One of the most popular ones is that the treasure could be hidden in a secret chamber beneath this structure. Rick and his team have been using ground-penetrating radar and other high-tech tools to scan the area, and they found some strange anomalies that don't quite fit with what we'd expect from natural rock formations. These anomalies are like whispers from the past, hinting at something big being buried deep underground. But here's the kicker. Rick says these findings could mean they're closer than ever to uncovering the truth. Another theory is that the treasure might be protected by a series of traps and puzzles designed to keep it safe from thieves. Rick has mentioned that some of the evidence they've found suggests there are multiple layers of security in place, like hidden doors or even water systems that could flood the area if someone tries to dig too deep. It's like a real-life version of a treasure hunt where every step you take is a clue leading you closer to the prize, but also a potential pitfall. But let's not forget about the skeptics. Some people are still questioning whether Rick and his team have enough proof to support these theories. They argue that without more concrete evidence, like actual artifacts or written records, it's all just speculation. However, Rick is confident in his findings, pointing out that they've been working on this for years and have a track record of uncovering things others might overlook. It's like having a detective with a nose for the truth, sniffing out clues where others see nothing but dirt. When Rick Lagina made that shocking confession, it was like throwing a bucket of ice water over a crowd of history buffs. Suddenly, every fan of the Oak Island mystery had their phones out, eyes wide, and hearts racing. The internet exploded with theories, memes, and even some questionable conspiracy claims. Historians who've spent decades studying the island's enigmatic past were equally thrilled, but also cautious, because this was no ordinary discovery. For fans, it felt like a long-awaited payoff to years of watching documentaries, reading books, and debating on forums. Some called it the biggest treasure hunt reveal since the 1800s, while others joked that Rick had finally found the X marks the spot he's been chasing for decades. The excitement was palpable, with social media platforms buzzing like a beehive of speculation. Was this the real deal, or just another twist in the mystery? Historians, on the other hand, were more measured. They knew that Oak Island had a reputation for being one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, and any new development needed to be scrutinized carefully. Some even suggested that Rick's confession might be a clever marketing move or a way to keep the public interested in the ongoing search. But others believed it could finally provide the clues they'd been waiting for, like the legendary money pit being more than just a myth. The reactions were as varied as the fans themselves. Some people were overjoyed, claiming that Rick had finally cracked the code and uncovered the treasure that's been hidden for centuries. Others were skeptical, pointing out that there was no concrete evidence yet to back up his claims. And then there were those who thought it was all a setup, maybe even a way to generate more interest in the show or attract investors to fund further excavations. Despite the mixed reactions, one thing was clear. The Oak Island mystery had captured the imagination of people around the world. Whether they believed Rick's confession or not, the mere idea that a treasure might be found after so many years sparked a wave of excitement and curiosity. It reminded everyone why this story has endured for generations, Because it's not just about gold and jewels. It's about the thrill of discovery and the power of mystery. Alright, so we've just scratched the surface of this Oak Island mystery, and now it's time to talk about what's next. Rick Lagina isn't one to back down from a challenge, and he's got his eyes set on uncovering more secrets that have been buried for centuries. With all the clues pointing toward a hidden treasure, the real question is, how do you even start digging when the map is more of a riddle than a guide? Well, Rick has some plans in motion, and they're as ambitious as they are intriguing. First up, Rick's team is planning to expand their search area. You see, Oak Island isn't just one big mystery. It's like a puzzle with multiple pieces scattered across the land. They've already found some interesting artifacts and strange formations, but there's still so much more to uncover. Imagine if you had a treasure map that said somewhere near here, but then you realized it was actually pointing to a whole different island. That's kind of what Rick is dealing with now, figuring out where exactly the real action is. Next on the agenda, more advanced technology. You know, those fancy gadgets that can detect things underground without digging up everything. Rick's team has been using ground-penetrating radar and other tools to scan for anomalies beneath the surface. It's like having a superpower that lets you see what's hidden from plain sight. But even with all this tech, there are still some mysteries that just don't make sense, like why certain areas have such strange water levels, or why the soil behaves differently in specific spots. Then there's the question of funding and resources. Rick has been working on this for years, and it's not a small operation. He needs money to keep the search going, which means he's had to rely on donations, sponsorships, and even some unexpected help from fans who believe in the treasure story. It's like running a business where the product is still a mystery, but everyone wants to be part of the journey. And honestly, that kind of dedication is pretty impressive. But let's not forget about the people involved. Rick isn't doing this alone. He has a team of experts, researchers, and fellow treasure hunters who are all passionate about solving this puzzle. They've been working tirelessly, analyzing every clue, and trying to piece together what could be one of the greatest discoveries in history. It's like a real-life adventure show, but with more drama and fewer explosions for now.